Hey, what's going on, guys? J-Mac here. So I just completed a level 40 Greater Rift with this Carnevil setup. Now keep in mind that I'm not running an ancient weapon or an ancient offhand, so my damage can still go up way higher than it is currently, but we still were able to do a level 40. So this should give you guys a rough idea of how powerful the build is now with the most recent changes in patch 2.1.2. Now the gameplay portion of the video is relatively long, so I'm just going to quickly go over the spec and the gear. If you want a more in-depth guide on Carnevil in general, post patch 2.1.2, I'll go ahead and link the video I put up a couple days ago that goes a little bit more in depth on the spec and gear choices and stuff like that. But as far as the spec goes, currently we're running Snake to the Face, Poison Dart for the extra stun and CC there. We're running Haunt with the new Poison Spirit rune. Now I'm gonna run in this video. I'm running Bane of the Trapped as a legendary gem in tandem with this. You can definitely run Enforcer for your pet's damage, and so they're a little more tanky if you want to, and past level 40 you may need to do so, but I do like the combination of the two. You have Bane of the Trapped damage the majority of the time, especially when you're haunting things constantly, but everything is also taking 20% more damage from all sources this way. Piranha's Paranado to group everything together. Spirit Walk Jaunt mainly for movement and just staying alive for tankiness. Fetish Army Legion of Daggers, we get 8 fetishes there. Big Bad Voodoo Slam Dance for mostly for elites and champions, or a really giant pack of trash. Mainly, the majority of the time, I don't cast this on trash unless I know it's going to come back up from Grave Injustice pretty quickly. Since I'm, if I cast it and then I kill 30 mobs, it's going to be back for the next elite or champion pack more than likely. Pierce the Veil, more damage. Spirit Vessel, just because in level 40 or higher Greater Rifts, especially if you're not running a Eucapian Serpent and a Tall Man's Finger, you're going to be dying. It's just kind of how it is. Unless you just play absolutely perfectly, you're going to need to come back to life here and there, and Spirit Vessel really helps you on time that way. Fetish Sycophants, we get up to 15 fetishes there, shooting darts, and then Grave Injustice for cooldown reduction. Alright, gear choices. So, obviously we've got the Carnevil. We're running a Dagger of Darts. Now, like I said before, as soon as this is an ancient Dagger of Darts, our damage goes absolutely through the roof, and we can probably jump up 2 to 3 Greater Rift levels with just that upgrade. Along with the Zuni String. I mean, the Zuni String would also push us up probably a level or so, depending on how well it rolled. So, those two are going to be the biggest upgrades, and really the two that I'm looking out for the most. As far as Zuni pieces go, we got the Zuni Trail that's ancient, the Zuni Chest that's ancient with Fetish Army damage, and the Zuni String, like I said, and then we're running a Ring of Royal Grandeur to get the 4-piece bonus with crit damage there. We've got a Unity. Now, this originally was rolled for Jade with the CDR. I would much rather have crit damage than CDR in a Unity. So, if we're talking about best in slot and a decent damage upgrade, that would be a pretty nice upgrade to get at some point in time. So we're going to run Kane's Gloves, Trifecta, and then Kane's Pants with Poison Dart damage to get that 2-piece bonus. Now again, I went over this in my other video, but we'll talk about it quickly. Poison Dart damage now affects every fetish when they shoot darts, whereas before fetishes weren't getting any benefit from Poison Dart damage at all when they were shooting darts. You were the only one getting the damage benefit, your character. So that's a huge damage buff in this patch to this build. And the other big buff was that Simplicity's Strength now affects all of the fetishes when they shoot darts as well. So we've got those going on. We're rocking Augild's Shoulders with Fetish Army damage, Ancient, and then Ancient Augild's Bracers with poison damage. Now, you can definitely, if you have a really good pair of Lacuni Prowlers with attack speed, you can run that here instead, but you are going to lose a considerable amount of toughness there. So, if you feel like you can play well enough to where you're just never getting hit and you don't need that toughness, then run Lacunis, because the more attack speed you have, the better. Now, I decided with testing today to go with this Crim's Buff belt, even with doing Greater Rifts. It has Poison Dart damage, it has a ton of toughness and intelligence, and currently the only Witching Hour that I have is a Strength Witching Hour. If I had an Intelligence one, it would probably lean closer to running the Witching Hour. But more than likely, if you have a good Intelligence Witching Hour or an Ancient Hellcat Waist Guard with attack speed, it's going to be better than running what I am currently. But this also gives you a lot of run speed in between packs, which does help with time as well. So that's why I'm running that. As far as our amulet, we're running an S of Johan, which is really, really nice in this build. It gives you almost like another Paranado from time to time. It's not as... you can't rely on it as much because you don't know when it's going to happen necessarily, but it is really nice to have. There are times where it may body block you a little bit, but most of the time it really isn't an issue. So that's pretty much it for the gear. As far as Paragon goes, get as much movement speed as you need, and then go intelligence. Offense-wise, you want to get up to 50% chance to crit for your pets, then attack speed, then crit damage, then go CDR after that. Defense-wise, armor percentage, life percentage, all res, and then utility, area damage, and life on hit. And resource cost reduction is pretty irrelevant. You can just go gold find after that. So as far as legendary gem choices go, like I already said, simplicity, strength gives you a ton of damage, and the heal is actually very relevant when you're doing higher greater rifts, especially when things aren't dying that quickly and your darts are piercing constantly with dagger of darts. You're getting a lot of heals out of that secondary. It's quite good. We're going to run the Gogok of Swiftness. It just gives you a ton of attack speed. Attack speed is always going to be king in a Carnevil setup because the fetishes are shooting a dart. When you shoot a dart, more attack speed you have, the better. And this is going to give you the most attack speed out of one single stat on a piece of gear. And then as far as the third one goes, like I said earlier, we're going to be running the Bane of the Trapped. It's a damage multiplier, so it is really good for damage. Now, there are potentially times where you're not getting the benefit from it, but with running Haunt in the build now, which slows enemies, it really can keep this up almost all the time. Now, again, like I said before, I think the second best option, or the legendary gem that's competing with this one, will be the Enforcer gem, mainly because it gives you damage and it gives your pet survivability, which it just kind of depends on, you know, how things are looking for you. In 40s and lower, I haven't had that much of an issue with my pets dying in this build because of how much crowd control there is and the stuns and everything. 40 plus, I may decide that Bane of the Trap just is not working out and I need to run Enforcer. It just kind of depends. So the mic's going to be off for the gameplay portion of the video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
idea.
I'll pick up the next strike.